Apparently, we're going backwards, though.
Yeah. You need a mirror to read it.
Yeah.
Good?
Did,
Does she know that? That the screen is
you know what,
reading?
roll with it.
I don't know if that's going to affect.
Well, you and I look okay.
All right, we're going to start this over. We're going to call the town board meeting for December 18th, 2023 to order. Just a reminder, if you're here and you haven't signed in, you should sign the sheet in the back. And we are also shy one supervisor, so it'll just be Supervisor McCune and myself tonight. First item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda. Patrick, any changes?
Mr. Chair, no changes, additions from staff this evening.
I will move to approve the agenda as submitted.
And I will second that motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Third item is approval of payment of the bills.
I had one question pending the finance director's response. No, he did respond. So yes, I approve the payment of the bills.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then we need a motion to approve the minutes from December 4th, 2023. It
It
was
took a long time
very
to
long
read.
meeting.
I will move approval of the minutes as submitted.
And I will second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have a consent agenda item. Looks like, I don't know, 8 items on there. You okay with them, Scott?
I'm okay with them. If you are okay, I will move to approve the consent agenda as submitted.
And I will second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, item 6, we have no old business or public hearing, so we'll move right into item 8, which is new business. We have a number of items here for the finance officer. We'll start with 8A, it's the 24 tax levy.
Yeah, I'll kind of summarize item 8A and B together. We had our budget meeting back a week ago. The residents did approve the levy that is being presented tonight, and they are recommending the budget that is also being recommended tonight. We announced that there was nothing but good news. The township is one of 10 governments in Minnesota that receive all 3 of the Government Finance Officer Association awards for our reports. This past summer, Moody's investors gave the town a bond rating upgrade of AA1, so now both Moody's and S&P have us one step below AAA. And then our utility rates are not increasing except for our stormwater, which we're increasing 50 cents a quarter. The town's tax levy that was approved by the town residents in total is $5,682,000. That is a 4.906% increase over the 2023 levy. And with the town's increase in tax capacity, when that rate is applied against the tax capacity, we have the 3rd lowest tax rate in Ramsey County. And so tonight, the board is asked to approve the tax levy that will support our general operations. And then there is a $467,500 debt levy to pay off some of the bonds that are due next year on our road projects. With that, I'll take any questions.
Well, obviously, we've been dealing with this half a year, and we just kind of went through this again on Friday at our exec meeting, so I don't have any questions. You, Scott?
No questions.
All right, you want to take these one separately, though, don't you, Tom?
Yes, please.
All right, so I need a motion on the 2024 tax levy.
So based on finance officer review and recommendation, I move to adopt the resolution adopting the amount to be raised by property taxation for the year 2024.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That motion carries. Then the next one is the 2024 operating budget.
Yeah, the 2024 operating budget again was recommended by the residents. It is recommended that the board approve a $6,244,627 operating budget, which is a 10.44% increase over our 2023 budget. And the only real significant increase was to our public safety area, which was a 22.10% increase. And so, again, tonight you're being asked to approve the operating budget of $6,244,627.
Questions, Scott? Nope. You have a motion?
Based on Finance Officer review and recommendation, move to adopt the resolution adopting the operating budget for the year 2024.
I'll second the motion. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That motion carries. And we're on to 8C. This is transfer of certain funds.
Yes, every year we do transfer money from one fund to another based on town needs. Most of these items were in our 2023 budget. Items 1 through 6 were all part of the budget, mainly transfers for improvements with the exception of number 1, which helped fund some of the operations from the EDA into the general fund. One was for management of the town hall, and then contribution towards Township Day. The rest of them were either items that are needed to help pay for our bonds, which is items 2, 3, and 4 on your list. And then 5 and 6 were budgeted items for capital improvements. Then, based on the town engineer, the final project costs for the Gilfillan area road project and then the Hammond Road area road project, we have certain transfers that are needed from the water, sewer, and stormwater fund to help pay for the construction of those projects. In total, the town for 2023 will be transferring $1,335,608 between different funds.
I do have a question. So all the other transfers you already knew about, and they were apparently baked into our budget at some point, except for the last 2, and I'm guessing that's because we didn't know the exact amount, or why were they not included in the budget?
We didn't know the exact amount until the final assessment amounts were set and the project itself, final costs were known on those projects.
So you'll have the same issue this time next year?
Correct.
For the work, okay. Looks like we have a third board member.
Oh, we are being joined by our missing third board member, so do we have to,
We have had audio too.
is that on?
I have audio.
Oh, good.
Okay.
How about that,
Well,
Scott?
All right, Steve, we're not going to go backward, but did you just
No.
catch? Did you just catch this? We're working on item 8D, transfer of certain funds.
oh, sorry.
Sure.
Do you have any questions concerning it?
Nope, I came in near the end. I listened to Scott's question and I understand the answer. So
All right. Hearing none, I need a motion for this.
I will move based on Finance Officer review and recommendation, adopt the resolution approving the transfer of certain funds for the town of White Bear.
I'll second that.
Okay.
And we'll have
A
to,
roll call vote.
yeah, we'll have to roll call the vote.
Okay.
Motion's been made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Steve Rizek seconded.
Scott McCune, aye.
Ed Prudon, aye. So that motion carries.
Perfect.
All right, then moving on, we have the fund balance classifications.
Yes, this is a housekeeping thing that we need to do every year, much like the transfers. There's certain items that we have to identify that we're carrying over a balance into next year. For the township, we basically have 3 of them. In our park acquisition fund, a number of years ago, we actually received a donation for developing Rutherford Park. We still have a balance of funds there, so we have $6,385.36 that we need to restrict in the park acquisition fund. Then we have a non-spendable fund balance in the EDA, which has actually gone down this year of $1,124,312, and that is the value of the land held for resale. In the EDA fund, it went down because we sold the one piece of property right over here on the park way. And then in the stormwater fund, the town board a number of years ago actually assigned some fund balance for the future still water drainage improvements. That amounts to $250,000. And so tonight you're asked to approve these fund balance designations.
All right, Mr. Ruzek, do you have any comments, questions?
Nope, I read through it. I thought it made perfect sense. I'd move to approve.
Have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion's made and second. All in favor, identify yourself with an aye.
Steve Rizek, aye.
Scott McCune, aye.
Ed Prudon, aye. All right, last one for you, Tom, is the capital improvement plan.
Yes, every year as part of our budget, we do update our 10-year capital improvement plan. For 2024, we've identified just over $11,875,000 worth of improvements and equipment purchases. Those were built into the 2024 budget. And then we've got various improvements and equipment purchases planned for the year 2025 through 2033. Those are there as earmarks. They can be moved forward or backwards in the future, and the amounts can change. All of these improvements do have to go through the normal town board approval process, meaning that equipment, the public works will have to get quotes or bids depending on the project, and then town board be presented at a town board meeting for board approval. So tonight you're asked to approve the 2024 through 2033 10-year capital improvement plan.
I suspect it's the 2024 through the 2033. 2033.
Yes, 2023.
Otherwise, that's a really long-term
Yes,
capital
yes.
improvement plan.
Any questions, comments, besides getting the figures?
Well, you gotta get the dates right.
Mr. Ruzek?
Nope, I'm good with it.
All right, I need a motion for the capital improvement plan.
Steve Rizek makes a motion to approve the capital improvement plan.
I will second.
All right, second by Scott McEwen. All in favor, say aye.
Steve Rizek, aye.
Scott McCune, aye.
Ed Prudon, aye. All right, that's it for finance. That was pretty thrilling, huh, guys? We're going to move on. Clerk treasurer items. First one is the earn, sick, and safe time policy.
Yes, Mr. Chair, if it pleases the board, staff took the time to find out if the township was in compliance with the minimum expectations of the earned sick and safe time policy. We are indeed. However, we do need to adopt it officially as an ESST per the state requirements now. So we're already fulfilling the requirements. It just needs to be stated as such for state requirement.
Is HR required to look this over?
Yep. And Chad looked it over too.
All right, Scott, any questions?
No.
Steve?
No, this is state mandated. I'm assuming the resolution follows pretty much the standard language that they want us to use.
Copied it straight from the state.
Perfect. I would move to adopt the resolution adopting the earned sick and safe time policy as
Second.
presented.
All right, motion made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Steve Rizek, aye.
Scott McCune, aye.
Ed Prudon, aye. All right, that motion carries. Next, Patrick, we have the employee handbook.
Yep, just another couple of house cleaning items too. One, in light of turnover in our staff, we wanted to clear up requirements for break time as well as lunch. I vetted this with Chad as well as MRA. The language is legal and keeps us in compliance.
That's correct.
All right, board, have any questions?
I'm assuming all the wording in red is additions.
That's additions.
You didn't drop anything from what I see.
No.
No, I think that's pretty straight. This is Steve Ruzek. I think it's pretty straightforward with the proposed changes. And I would approve the additions and revisions to the employee handbook. This is Steve Ruzek again.
I'll second.
All right, motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Steve Ruzek, aye.
Scott McCune, aye.
Ed Prudon, aye.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right. Next, we have Public Safety Commission items. You gonna take those, Patrick?
Give him the Scott.
Okay. So the first item is a request from a resident who had reached out about a month or so ago with a concern about the rate of speed on Otterview Trail, specifically by some parks and bus stops. And the Public Safety Commission had this on their agenda earlier in the month, and it was an extremely thorough conversation. So they are starting this by putting three-way stop at the intersection of Otterview Trail and Halper Way. This is where a bus stop is for in the morning with the kids, and it's, I believe, relatively near a park. We will monitor that and see how it goes. But again, this was a result of a resident reaching out, specifically concerned about the rate of speed. And the first time I'd heard of it was about a month ago. So
This is not the first time, I think, for that stretch of road for somebody asking for either speed bumps or stop signs, if I remember right. But that's back when I was on the Public Safety Commission. That was a while ago. And I thought it was turned down, if I remember right.
turned down by the public safety?
I think there was no recommendation for stop signs. But I don't know if it's that intersection or not. So I don't know if they have the minutes to see if that was the same spot or not.
Well, there are some folks on the public safety who've been on the commission for quite a while, and nobody brought that up.
Yeah, I do remember it.
It is a long stretch. It is strictly residents. It's not like you can take a shortcut through this area between major roads. So it is strictly residents getting to, I don't know, work or the grocery store or whatever.
Which usually means you're complaining about your neighbor speeding. So,
Yeah, Mr. Chair, that road runs parallel to 35E, and it is a straight stretch, a long stretch where there is a lot of people that go with a high rate of speed there. And that would cut back to Otter Lake Road eventually. It really makes sense. There's a big park there with nothing to slow people down.
so this is our prerogative. We don't have to deal with the county. It's up to the township if we want to add that stop sign.
It would be as long as it's not a state.
Yeah, state or county.
Okay,
Well, I guess that's true. It's a township road.
right.
Yes.
No, speed limit there is 30?
I don't believe it is, I don't remember now. I don't remember.
I don't think it's posted.
I don't recall.
And did they say they had tried radar signs or not? I don't remember if I
No.
saw it in there.
No.
Is that something we might want to try before we go ahead and start popping stop signs
I
in?
believe you have to wait till the spring. Yeah.
Are you talking about the Ramsey County portable ones or
Well-
a solar one?
I would think the Ramsey County one.
Yeah.
I asked the sheriff's department if we could partake in using that here immediately, and I was told the spring.
So then would we install the stop signs?
No, they would bring it out.
They would. Would they do it before the spring?
No, we'd have to wait till the spring.
So even if we adopt this tonight, it's not going to go up before spring. Okay, good to know. We want to make sure the resident is aware of that.
So is this something we want to table until spring, and in the meantime, put up the radar signs? Just to see if that does help the
So
situation?
would it help? Okay, so I would think if I'm driving along and I see a radar sign, okay, maybe I'll slow down. Or I'll see how
Or I'll
fast
see how
I-
fast your car
I-
can go.
okay. The radar sign is a temporary, it goes away, I might just fall back in an old habit. The stop sign is going to be there, and it's a reminder on a daily basis, regular basis. So we could put a radar sign there and see that wasn't the initial thought. I know it wasn't discussed as an option, which doesn't mean it can't be, just never considered it.
Well, if we're not going to have anything till spring anyway, what is the harm in that? But, Mr. Ruzek, what do you think?
Well, there is no harm in if you can post the radar sign, but we can't do anything permanent till spring, so.
I know those permanent, smaller signs that are solar operated, they're about, what, $6,000? So I don't want to just throw them in temporary, because we have to buy them.
That's correct.
I think if the thought is to put up have Ramsey County set up a temporary radar sign, that's fine. Either way, we need to let the resident know that it won't be until spring, which could be May,
Or March, the way things are going.
March, okay, but it's not going to be next week.
No.
So that gets back to what's the board's pleasure. You want to act on it now, or you want to wait till a couple months down the road? And see if that radar sign has any impact, or if it's just,
Well, I think we need to decide if we're going to have the radar sign. Do we need a motion for that, or can just, so either way, I think we need to tell them.
okay.
So then I would make a motion to have Ramsey County install temporary radar signs along Otterview Trail at the intersection of Halper and Otterview as soon as they can,
For a period of,
for a period of,
I don't know, depends on how long they can,
Well,
loan
we
it to
might
us.
as well ask them to put it out as long as possible until we've got the time in the spring to go through this, so.
All right, so we'll leave it up to staff to communicate with
I
Ramsey
can
County.
do that if you'd like.
good point, at staff's discretion.
Can do.
All right, I need a second on the motion.
Now, Steve Ruzek will second that motion.
All right, all in favor, say aye.
Steve
Ruzek, aye.
Oh, no,
Scott McHugh, aye.
You have to repeat. I'll give you a cautious.
Yeah, sorry.
Ed Prudon, aye. All right, that motion passes. All right, one more public safety item is Portland Avenue stop sign request.
And this was another one that was a lengthy debate within the Public Safety Commission. There seemed to have been a number of concerns along Portland Avenue, more so than on Otterview Trail, because Portland is I think it's a feeder street. People can reach fairly high rates of speed. There seems to be a curve which has limited visibility. There were a few residential concerns. So, after a pretty thorough discussion, the Public Safety Commission decided to start addressing it, getting people to slow down by, number one, installing a four-way stop sign at Portland Avenue, Short Street, otherwise known as 117th Street North or County Road Highway 7, and Mallard Ponds Boulevard, and ask Ramsey County to reduce the speed limit to 30 miles an hour on Portland between Short Street and County Road 96. It will continue to be monitored, I'm sure, again, based on the number of residents expressing concerns. I'm sure we will hear in the future when these are enacted whether or not they are having any impact. And based on what we just talked about, is it safe to assume, Patrick, that these won't happen until springtime?
More than likely.
All right.
Scott, this is Steve Ruzek. That four-way stop that's proposed, though, that's not allowed, is it? It's a county road.
That's why we are requesting that, I guess it should have been worded that it's a request for the county to
The
add a
county to
four-way
do so.
stop.
Yes.
So that's a good point.
Okay, and it would also be the request to reduce the speed, which
Correct.
once upon a time was not in. They said it was not in their jurisdiction because this came up before, I believe. They said it was the state controlled that, but I think now it could be reduced as suggested with their agreements.
Well, we'll at least make the request and then see how the county decides to handle it. But there have been a number of comments or requests because people just are cutting along between 96 and 61 and just gets busy.
Depending on the traffic on Highway 61, they start using this as an alternate route.
Yep.
I don't know what the Ramsey County protocol is. Are they going to want a traffic study or a traffic count? I mean, I know those things are expensive, and if we're asking them to spend some money on this, I don't know how well that's going to go over either.
So there are going to be some certain steps that are barriers that we're going to have to cross with them in order to get these implemented, but we can't start doing that until we give them the word or the approval from the board here.
I know I've seen numbers of up to 250,000 just for a traffic study. So
Yikes.
they get a little nervous when you ask them for
Oh,
this
yeah.
stuff. So, but I don't know if this would trigger that or not. So all we can do is ask and see.
I can carry a resolution from the board saying that we'd like to have this done and see what their response is. So,
All right. Steve, got anything else?
No.
Yeah.
So then I would make a motion to request Ramsey County to add a 4-way stop sign at Portland, Short, and Mallard Ponds Boulevard, and can I make that at the same time, or do I need two separate ones?
What would be your second one?
Requesting that they reduce the speed limit.
I would do them separately.
Okay, so I make a motion to requesting Ramsey County to add a 4-way stop sign at Portland, Short Street, and Mallard Ponds Boulevard.
Steve Ruzek will second that.
All right. Motion's made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Steve Ruzek, aye.
Scott McCune, aye.
Ed Prudon, aye. That part of the motion carries.
And also request Ramsey County to reduce the speed limit to 30 miles an hour on Portland Avenue between Short Street and County Highway 96.
Scott, one quick question. For the record, that is currently at 40, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'll second that motion.
All right. Motion's made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Steve Ruzek, aye.
Scott McCune, aye.
Ed Prudon, aye. All right. Moving on. We have an attorney-client privilege meeting for all of us with just our attorney, which means we have to clear the room. But what I'm going to ask for is if we're going to move open time up, so if any of the students or anybody here wants to approach the podium, give your name and address, you can speak your mind. Let us know what you think of our process, or you just want to go home. But it's part of our agenda that we have to have open time in case someone walks in and wants to either complain or maybe even compliment how we work. All right. Hearing none, I need a motion to, I tell you what, I'll wait on this one.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, so,
Yeah, I would suggest you wait on the others.
okay. All right. So at that time, I know you students have to have papers signed. So we're going to take 2 minutes for you all to come up. Both Scott and I can sign them off for you. And then we have to ask everyone to leave.
and thanks for coming.
Hey, we can make a couple of lines here. There you go. These courses getting done, that's why everybody's crashing for the end of the month. What's the name of the course? Yep.
All right.
Texting during the meeting, I want you to see the number I was texting.
I know, she texted me first, and I said, I can't help. And I don't yell.
Wait, we got to confer with Natalie on that one.
Oh, she yelled. Wait, are we still live?
Take it easy.
Thanks, guys. Good luck.
So were you able to get it resolved?
She said, we're on. And then she told me how awesome I was.
I'm sure she
Suppose you want
did.
that as part of the minutes.
Yeah, you lease a backpack here.
Yeah.
We need to do that from now on.
Yes, we weren't doing it quite right. Oh, I should have said that.
Say what?
All right, are we ready?
Yes.
We need to go into closed session for an attorney-client consultation for union negotiations. That cover it?
Is there a motion to do so?
I'll move to go into closed session for the union negotiation session.
I will second that.
Motion's made and second. All in favor, say aye.
Remember,
Steve Purzik, aye.
Scott McCune, aye.
Ed Purdon, aye.
perfect.
get this TV set up?
Yep, gotcha. Well, you could just put a flag.
Oh, he's done. We lost Steve.
Nope, we took too much time. Steve's gone.
All right, well, that's okay. We can do it just two.
So I will move to come out of closed session.
From the,
I think, do I recap
Well,
it?
actually, I think I'll do that. Well, I'll recap it this time.
okay,
The purpose of the closed session was to finalize labor negotiations.
all right, so the motion has come out of closed session. The attorney has just clarified the reasoning, and I will second the motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Now we need to.
So I will move based on staff review and recommendation, as well as input from the township attorney. I will move to accept the union proposal for the time period January 1st, 2024 through December 31st, 2026.
And I'll second the motion. Then all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Then that motion carries.
That authorizes Ed and I to sign.
Yes, it does.
Okay. Terrific. Thanks, guys.
All right, so the only thing we have left is I need a motion to receive agenda materials and supplements.
So moved.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Then I need a motion to adjourn at 7:48.
So moved.
I'll second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Well played, gentlemen.